Hello, everyone. Thanks for being with us this first Monday in August. For News Center Maine at 4, I'm Amanda Hill.
I'm Ryan Breton.
And I'm Brian Yukono. Lots to tell you about today, including how the state's LifeFlight program celebrating a brand new vehicle now. We'll explain how this is part of the process of upgrading its fleet.
And another community in Maine is taking up the issue of flock cameras. We'll hear concerns from people in Auburn. Also ahead today, fewer than 100 days until this year's election, and absentee ballots are now available. What you need to know to have your voice heard.
And we'll share how a nonprofit that has been helping families in the Waterville area for 100 years is now expanding its services.
And working on long-term goals.
Football, we're lifting weights in February to ultimately have a chance to hold the trophy in the middle of November.
We will introduce you to Portland High School's new head coach of the football team, hear his philosophy toward winning, and learn how his prior career in hip-hop prepared him for inevitable and unpredictable change. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, looking forward to that one. We will get to all of that. Of course, Ryan's forecast just a moment away. First, though, we shared last week that this season's puffling on the Explorer.org Puffin Cam has left the nest. Tilly fledged on Wednesday, leaving Millie and Willie some alone time before their season in Maine wraps up. And we're learning a little bit more today about Tilly. Every year, members of Project Puffin head out to Seal Island to monitor the puffin population. So this shows Project Puffin founder Stephen Kress and Seal Island supervisor Coco Faber. We don't see it yet. There they are, holding Tilly on the day she was banded. Project Puffin said she was small but healthy on banding day, but appeared to grow quite a bit before she fledged. They believe when she left, she was ready for the trials of the ocean. Researchers say many pufflings took a little extra time in the nest this year, which they say is a good sign for the health of the colony because parents were able to find a plentiful supply of food to keep the youngsters fed. Now, incidentally, we have spoken with both Stephen Kress and Coco Faber. You can find those conversations and everything you didn't even realize you wanted to know about puffins on News Center Maine streaming.
Yeah, you had great conversations with them.
Yeah, very interesting. We learned a lot about puffins.
Yes, a lot about what they do. And you heard a little bit of it last week. We also heard a lot of the audio of what they sound like, which we haven't experienced a lot here before.
That's cool.
No.
Very different.
Yeah,
sound.
It was not what I expected at all.
No.
So, cool
encouraging news and good news that you can stay at home a little longer and be okay still.
Yeah,
right?
That's the trend, right? Kids are staying with the parents a little bit longer.
That
because you just can't afford life out there.
Right. By the way, welcome back. Good to have you back.
Thank you. Thanks. It's nice to be back.
And back to work on a Monday that's rainy and it's all good.
Makes it a little less difficult
Right.
to come in on a rainy
It's
Monday.
a fine day to be here.
Yeah, because I'm not missing a sunny day.
Not at all. We lined up this pretty well with a great weekend and a needed soaking rain. We really had the first round come through this morning into the middle of the day. Now we have one more that's coming in from the west. Thunderstorms up in the mountains and in northern New Hampshire. Most of southern Maine is just some light rain right now. Portland southward through York County. But back in the Mount Washington Valley, downpours. There isn't much thunder and lightning indicated at the moment, but there may be some as this heads into western Maine in the next hour or so. Biggest complex of storms actually just north of Jackman. We have some downpours going through the western mountains in the Carabasset Valley. Lighter rain around greater Bangor and down east, and up north there has been some rain as well. Temps are not incredibly warm, but it is super humid out there. The dew point 70 plus in just about all of the state. Those high dew points will be swept away tonight after this rain ends. We think the rain ends in southern and western Maine between about 6 and 7 o'clock. And then it takes a little while longer in eastern and northern Maine, but it is long gone by morning tomorrow, and we have a beauty of a day ahead. Wall-to-wall sunshine, a little gusty breeze, but much less humid tomorrow. It will not last, though. I'll be back to talk about when the heat and humidity return coming up in a few minutes.
Maine State Police are investigating a deadly crash last night in the town of Gouldsboro.
Police say last night a woman driving on Old Route 1 ran through a stop sign, crashing into a car traveling east on Route 1, a Chevy Trailblazer driven by Heather Allen from Ellsworth. The crash sent Allen into the oncoming lane where she hit another car before her vehicle rolled over. Police say she died there at the scene. A passenger in her car and the drivers of the other two cars were all taken to the hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. Well, Maine is one of 15 states that does not offer parole, where an inmate may be released to finish their sentence under community supervision.
By an act of the Maine legislature this past session, lawmakers will now consider whether to bring parole back. Today, the state Senate Majority Office said that Senator Rachel Talbot Ross would be appointed to the commission to examine parole. The commission will deliver a report this fall, and lawmakers next year may file new legislation on the practice. Maine was the first state to abolish parole in 1976, and Senator Talbot Ross says the result was that sentencings increased by 20%. LifeFlight of Maine is adding a new helicopter to its fleet.
This will now be the 6th aircraft in operation as the organization is working to modernize its life-saving equipment. News Center Maine's Ryan Bell got a look inside the new helicopter. He joins us live in studio tonight. Hi, Ryan.
Hi, Brian and Amanda. Brian, I know you are very excited about the new helicopter. So this $6 million helicopter actually came all the way from China. LifeFlight says it bought it from a broker in California, and it just recently flew home to Maine. It's a lightly used 2018 model with about 300 flight hours. Officials say that's equivalent to buying a used car with just a few thousand miles on it. This helicopter will be the 4th of its kind for LifeFlight as the company works to phase out 2 of its older aircrafts. Pilots say the twin-engine machine is slightly faster than the older helicopters and comes with more space for medics and nurses to operate inside. The new chopper also comes with better navigation technology and the ability to fly in inclement conditions, offering faster patient transport on rainy days like today. LifeFlight CEO says the company is always looking to adopt new technology like this to give first responders a leg up during emergencies.
Anything we can do to incrementally increase reliability and access to critical care transport is something that we want to invest in. So it's important to every patient that this aircraft will touch. That's roughly 700 to 800 patients per year per aircraft. So it's a significant number.
LifeFlight is finishing up work on the inside of that new helicopter, installing some mounts and other medical gear. They expect it to be in the air by the end of the month. Brian and Amanda.
Looking forward to seeing it out on the routes around Maine. Ryan Bell, live for us in studio tonight. Ryan, thank you. Well, a trial is underway in court in Bangor this week after a Maine deputy claimed his gun fired while holstered, shooting him in the leg.
Somerset County Sheriff's Deputy David Cole is suing the New Hampshire gun maker Sig Sauer. Cole claims in 2022 he was shot by his issued pistol, breaking several bones in his leg, requiring multiple surgeries, months of medical care and therapy. The trial began last week. It's scheduled to run through Thursday. Nearly 2,000 community members are petitioning the city of Auburn to ban flock cameras.
This comes now after advocates for the bans say 6 AI-powered license readers were installed by the city with little public input. State legislators who spearheaded the petition are arguing that the cameras violate the privacy rights of residents. Others, though, say these concerns are unjustified and that the cameras assist law enforcement with crime prevention.
The flock camera was not put in place to get into your life. It was put in place for, I believe, emergencies if somebody robbed a bank or even robbed somebody here and they're going to go through town.
So there's a lot of data points you could really glean from this data, and the concern is that this is not our government. It's a for-profit corporation, and it could be abused. It could be leaked. It could be sold.
The calls for a ban on the license plate readers in Auburn come after residents in Portland voiced similar concerns about flock cameras installed in that city. And in South Portland, officials voted to remove them from the city after community backlash.